we're going to be looking at 10 WWE superstars that are going to be future world champions in the WWE. Some of these WWE superstars have won world titles in other promotions outside of the WWE, but today we're going to be looking at 10 superstars that haven't won the big one within the WWE. Most of these are really obvious, but I've added one or two reaches in there just to make this a little bit spicy. And hey, as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications, because if you're a wrestling fan, I am confident that you're going to fucking hit my elbow on the desk. God damn it. You're going to like this channel. Subscribe. Also, we've received your feedback that my editor continues to accidentally cut off words before I finish saying them. I just wanted to let you know that the editor has been reprimanded, his food supplies has been cut in half, and he will never ever cut me off ever again. Editor, are you fucking serious? You want to play this game? Okay. All right. You're eating worms for your next 5 meals. All right, let's start this off with a very obvious one, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Hell, a lot of people had him primed to win the World Championship at this year's WrestleMania, but alas, the Tribal Chief winning is inevitable, and he did not win his first World Championship in the WWE. But I think this is inevitable, right? Like, he is the biggest babyface in the company, bar none. The WWE loves him, and they just recently restarted the road back to Roman Reigns in the most recent episode of SmackDown. I think this happens as early as next year. If The Rock versus Roman Reigns doesn't happen, I think it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at this upcoming WrestleMania. And if it does happen at WrestleMania, I believe that the second time is the charm for Cody Rhodes. I just can't see him losing at back-to-back WrestleManias, and I can't see him not holding a world title within the WWE within his first 2 years within the company here. It is possible that maybe he goes after Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship, but that's not his story. His story is about Roman Reigns. That's who he should be going for. And yes, he has won other world titles in other organizations like Ring of Honor, but you know, like I said, we're only counting WWE here. And I could see the son of Dusty Rhodes finishing the story, like I said, as early as WrestleMania 40. I think this is another obvious one, and one that I think could also happen as early as next year. I have Gunther, the Ring General. You all know at this point that Triple H loves heels, and there is no bigger heel at the moment, no more traditional heel than Gunther, the Ring General. I'm predicting that Gunther is going to win the Royal Rumble this year, and he's going to take that Royal Rumble victory and challenge the World Heavyweight Champion, whoever that might end up being. Currently, as of the making of this video, is Seth freaking Rollins. Look, I'm so certain that Cody versus Roman Reigns is happening at WrestleMania, and I don't see Cody winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles. So whoever wins the Royal Rumble, I believe, is going to be going after the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think that there is no better classic heel than Gunther at the moment. The question is, would I have him go into the World Championship match at WrestleMania while holding the Intercontinental Championship? And for me, yeah, why not? It would give vibes of Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior when they did world title versus Intercontinental title. And Gunther at this point has really become and emerged as one of the top heels in the entire industry, and is super believable as a heel champion. Not to mention the constant banger matches that this man puts on. Like, that's just become his identity, the guy that puts on the best match of the night. So I'm excited at the prospect of a heel world champion Gunther, because in my opinion, heels just make better champions. They just make better gatekeepers for the baby faces to have to try and overcome. And I think that there's no better final boss to have and hold the World Heavyweight Championship hostage than Gunther. I would love to see him as champion, and I think it happens next year. Next, I have Bron Breakker, who is currently on NXT. Yes, he has been an NXT champion, but that doesn't count. We're talking about main roster stuff, okay? But this one's like a lock. Not to quote the WWE 2K23 game mode, like the storyline of The Lock, but he's a lock, right? It might take a few years, but the WWE is going to be putting everything behind Bron Breakker. I can already see it a mile away. I mean, in the most recent episode of NXT, as of the making of this video, this man had encounters with John Cena and The Undertaker, for God's sake. Not to mention, he's already being primed and set up as the next major Paul Heyman guy. This may take a few years. I could see this potentially being at like 2027, 2028, because he is very young. He's still only 26. So I could see him maybe being 32, 33 when he wins his first major world championship in the WWE. But hell, it could even be earlier than that. That's how much the WWE clearly loves Bron Breakker as their next major future star. star. I know a lot of people talk about Bron Breakker versus Carmelo Hayes, but just in terms of the prototypical WWE guy, if I have to bet my money on which one of those two is going to win a world championship for sure, I'm literally like mortgaging everything that I own and I'm putting it all on Bron Breakker. I personally would love to see him as a heel champion as opposed to a babyface champion, but I think he could play either role just fine. Hey, I know that I upload daily videos, but how about more? Because I have a Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap, where you're gonna get so much more content. You're gonna get the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days early alongside other shows like the Wrestling is Cool Plus side show. You're also gonna get the Monday Night Raw reviews, Friday Night SmackDown reviews, the 1001 pay-per-view show, and so much more. I've tried to make the Patreon as affordable as possible, so just go check it out. See what tiers there are. Maybe you'll find a tier that works for you. Because if you want more wrestling content for a couple extra bucks, you can have even more, baby. Patreon.com/SantiZap. Go check it out. Link in the description. Next up, WWE's shiniest new toy, Jade Cargill. Look, within the first year of joining the WWE, Cody Rhodes went on to win the Rumble and headline WrestleMania, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing this for Jade Cargill as well. Without a doubt, she's going to be winning a Women's World Championship as early as 2024. I don't know if it's going to be a Rumble victory and then going into WrestleMania, but at some point or another next year, Jade Cargill is going to be holding one of the top championships from the women's division. And again, that would just set a great example for other potential AEW free agents that might be interested in joining the WWE. Because if the WWE can use Jade Cargill and Cody Rhodes as an example of how to create a megastar from AEW to WWE, I think you're going to have a lot of those major AEW players be more willing to jump ship to the WWE. And as of the making of this video, Jade Cargill made an appearance on the most recent episode of SmackDown going face to face with Charlotte. And if that doesn't scream WrestleMania match, fellas, I don't know what does. I said that Bron Breakker was a lock. This is an entire bank safe. This is like the most sure bet you could possibly make as to who's going to be a major future world champion. It's Jade Cargill. Okay, look, I had to pick like a super obvious one. I'd be wrong if I didn't pick this, but Damian Priest. If you told me that Damian Priest would be world championship caliber like 2 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. I didn't see it. I really didn't see it from Damian Priest. But he has really grown on me, and he's grown on me as an in-ring performer, but also as a character worker as he plays like the major brooding force of the Judgment Day. And of course, it's a safe bet because he's holding the Senior Money in the Bank briefcase, which more or less guarantees that he's going to be a future world champion, but that doesn't quite give us a 100% chance. I don't see him failing his cash in. I really don't, with how hot he is and how hot the entire Judgment Day is. I'm so confident that he's going to be winning a championship this year, 2023, before the year ends. But I'm still leaning towards this being a slam dunk. He's just too hot and too important in the company right now for that cash in to fail. So I'm locking it in. Damian Priest is winning a world championship this year as of the making of this video, 2023. Look, the other ones were all super obvious, so let's go for a reach, and I'm going Montez Ford, baby. Montez is still in his tag team phase, but at some point or another, he's gonna go on a singles run, and he's gonna become a megastar for the WWE. He's still in his early 30s as well, so he still hasn't even hit like those prime years that all other major WWE superstars seem to hit when they turn 36, 37, 38. So he still has some years to be able to marinate before he really starts hitting his stride. But I just think the man is money. Like, he's got the quintessential perfect look to be a megastar in the WWE, and his in-ring work can back it up as well. And I think that this thing that they're doing with Bobby Lashley, where they're heels and they're finding that extra Adam Copeland of themselves, Edge, I made an Edge joke, haha. Anyways, but I think that this is going to create a more serious version of Montez Ford that can allow us and can allow the WWE to take him more seriously as a main eventer in the near future. Again, all of this is really dependent on whether or not Roman Reigns drops the damn title, because if Roman Reigns drops the title next year, I think that championship changes are going to become more common within the WWE, and I could see Montez Ford benefiting from that maybe in 2025, 2026. He's also like a key marketing piece for the WWE because of his relationship with Bianca Belair. Anytime WWE is doing some sort of major appearance, he's there. Like, he's already a major face in WWE when it comes to PR events. And other people that are like that are people like The Miz and and The Miz gets handed world championships every now and then. So I could see that happening with Montez Ford as well. So I know this one's a bit of a stretch, but I'm saying Montez Ford 2026 world champion. I gave you one lady, why not give you two? I'm taking Miss Tiffany Stratton. A lot of people in the comment section of the video that I made of the best 20-something-year-olds in the WWE were shocked to learn that Tiffany Stratton did not practice in the independent circuit before coming to NXT. Like, she was purely brought up and bred in the Performance Center to be a WWE superstar. She only has 2 years of experience in professional wrestling, and she's already putting on banger matches. If you haven't seen her match at No Mercy versus Becky Lynch, you gotta. It's one of the best women's matches of all year. But if that is a minuscule taste of what she's gonna be able to deliver in her career, again, only 2 years worth of training in, dude, and she's 24. Imagine what she's gonna be like when she's 32, 33, when she's hitting really like that major stride of her career. She's gonna be putting on mind-bendingly good matches, and I cannot wait for that. Based on how she has handled herself in that major feud with Becky Lynch, the fact that they've already trusted her as an NXT Women's Champion while only having 2 years of experience, and the fact that she's 24 and has so many years left of her career, if she continues in the path of professional wrestling in the WWE, it is inevitable that not only is she a future main roster Women's Champion, she is going to be winning handfuls of championships in the main roster. This one's a lock, fellas. Lock in Tiffany Stratton as a future women's world champion in the main roster, no doubt about it. I've got Solo Sikoa next. Solo is 30 years old, the youngest member of the Bloodline, and has plenty of time left in his career to capture major gold. I think once Roman Reigns is set and done in the WWE, that Solo Sikoa is going to be that major representation from the Anoa'i family to really take the mantle of, like, not necessarily the tribal chief, but the top member of that Samoan brass of wrestlers in the WWE. And in many regards, that's more or less a guaranteed world championship when you're able to hold that spot. I don't know how we get there. I don't know if it's the implosion of the Bloodline or Roman Reigns retires and doesn't come back and leaves the mantle open for somebody like a Solo Sikoa, but I think it's inevitable that within 5 to 6 years, Solo Sikoa is going to be winning world championships and is going to be a regular contributor in the main top of the card of the main roster. He already is kind of doing that, but he's really doing it as a part of the collective of the Bloodline as opposed to it being for himself. I could see him being a solo, no pun intended, main eventer in the near future. And I just hope that he's able to do what Umaga just wasn't able to, which is to win that big one and being the WWE champion. Here's another reach. I love this one. Dominic Mysterio as a future world champion just screams money to me, because I know exactly what kind of world champion he would be. He would be the Snively champion that just somehow keeps getting away with victory after victory, none of which are deserved. Think of that WWE championship run from JBL in the Ruthless Aggression era in 2005, where he just somehow managed to pull wins that he did not deserve. That is the type of champion I could see Dominic Mysterio having. See, he's 26 years old and he is already in contention for being the biggest heel, not just in the WWE, but all of professional wrestling. This man has 20 plus years left in the WWE. He's already a master of manipulating audiences at 26. He's getting much better in the ring, and he has a legacy last name as well. I think this is for sure gonna happen at some point. I will say this, Dominic Mysterio as a babyface will never work. He is a forever heel, whether he wants to be or not. He's gonna be a heel champion. He's gonna be the snively, cowardly champion, and I'm here for it, baby. And the last person on my list is Austin Theory live. A-Town down. I be popping bottles. Is that meme dead? Did that meme die? I hope so. This is also like bound to happen. Again, somebody who is just still in the infancy of their career that already has done so much. The only things that he hasn't done really are like the major accolades, like winning the Rumble and headlining a WrestleMania. Pretty much is what he's missing. Of course, winning a championship as well. And that's what this video is about. And I think he's going to be winning a championship probably before he hits 30, just kind of based on where his trajectory is going. This man has had encounters with Stone Cold, John Cena, The Rock. So clearly the WWE loves Austin Theory live. And I think it's just a matter of time, a matter of maybe a year or two before Austin Theory finally becomes a world champion in the WWE. But that's it. I'm done. Who do you think is as a future world champion within the WWE that hasn't already won a world championship within the WWE. That was my list, so I'm done. So get out of here.